Hi guys, it's Marvel Manny and today I'm reviewing the Spider-Man No Way Home Final Battle LEGO set. I'll be talking about the figures, the actual set itself, as well as kind of what maybe future improvements we could see or future extensions we could see with the set that would really drive it home. The first thing I want to talk about is actually the box art and the box itself. I think they did a great job of capturing the moment from the movie. I like the multiversal cracks in the background, and it's great seeing all three Spideys on the front. Apart from that, there's not much else to say about the box. It gives you a good idea of something you could actually replicate when you build the model yourself. On the back of the box, we have an alternative kind of, again, formatting of the placement that you can put, and gives indication of some of the things that are included, like that battery pack with the holder, Sandman hand underneath the helmet, and one of the best features, which is the Centaur portal in the back of the head of the Statue of Liberty. So yeah, it's a good box. It follows the new Marvel pattern of the little comic panels, which is just great. It's obviously got a flap there because I opened it from the bottom. And yeah, that's really all there is to say about the box. Now, immediately one of the good things about this set is because of the plate it's on and because it's kind of built as a display piece, you can actually just rotate it 360 degrees and you'll be able to see different parts of the fight, different parts of the set. So it gives you kind of good range on how you want to display it, and it doesn't really take away from the playability features. For a large set at £100 value, it's got some good playability features. There are some that could be better, and obviously I'll go into them as I do the review. But yeah, I just thought it'd be good to show that you can actually get a good 360 on it and show off different parts of the set depending on how you feel and how you want to present it. You just got to play around with where you put the figures and how you use the great new stands that come with the set. For the set itself, you start off building the base plates. I think that's bags 1 and 2, then you move on to the Statue of Liberty head. I think by bag 5 you attach the head to the base and you build up the rest of it. It's quite a fun build. Building the base is quite relaxing actually, because you're just kind of making the oval shape and then building up from there. The scaffolding comes last, and it's quite fun but a bit repetitive with putting in all the pipes. It kind of like tests how far each pipe will go in, but it was definitely interesting. Building the actual head for the Statue of Liberty was quite fun. The sausage eyebrows did make me laugh, and I guess like the one thing with this is if you didn't want all the scaffolding around the head, you can easily remove it at the cost of not having as much places to put, as many places, sorry, to put the figures. The figures are also great, and I do like that there are pretty much points where all of them can go on. Just doing a quick 360 of the set. We've got these new web elements. They're quite fun to use. We've got the classic web elements too with the figures, and I'll go on to them later. One of the best features of the set, I do think, is the Sanctum Sanctorum sticker in the background with the portal ring around it, and I do like that a portal ring is also included in the set for when Doctor Strange makes his entrance, so I think that's done quite well. And if I can lift this up without knocking any figures off, we have the Sandman hand in there and some of the traces of sand inside the top of the head, which works great from the movie point of view and what actually happened in the movie, but it's also quite fun because you can just move the Sandman hand around and not have it stuck in one place. So like I said, most of the stickers do actually go into the Statue of Liberty. We can see one going on the side here, and there's one on the other side there. It's blocked a bit by the scaffolding now. We get a multitude of stickers just going along the top beams, I guess, of the crown. 2 on the top of the head. 5 stickers go onto the spell box. And we get stickers for the battery pack, kind of like power things here. The stickers weren't too bad for this set. The hardest one for me, but funny enough I did it the quickest, is the Sanctum Sanctorum one, just because I wanted it to kind of look good as it's locked away behind things. I think I did a good job of that. There are some tips for that you can probably find on, I think I found it on Instagram. I can't remember what the exact tip was, I kind of just did it. I'm not too sure what else I can really say about the set. I think they did a good job of capturing the sandy elements. I think, if anything, it'd probably be a mix of the destroyed head at the end of the movie with the actual bottom of the ground, but it's a bit of a strange one because it's not the full body. I don't want to think about what the price would have been with the full body. I think they did a great thing of having these new pieces to have characters like floating and give characters a lot of space to actually be displayed. I hope there is an expansion pack of sorts just to potentially add the lizard, because I think that would be a good one, and maybe a Sandman minifigure, because there would be space on here to add them. If you've got your own lizard, you could probably add him, And if you've got your own Sandman, you can definitely add him. So I think they've done a good job of that. I think for the set, that's pretty much all I can say for the build itself. It was a fun build, it kept me engaged. It took me a little while because I was doing other stuff at the same time, but it was definitely fun. Got a good amount of spare pieces, including some weapons you don't use, and a whole rack of Infinity Stone, Mind Stones, that I used in Electro's powers. Apart from that, you got some stuff that you can use to make like other web elements. The blue light dagger piece, which I quite like, and a spare brown sausage, which again is quite, I just find it funny. We've got a brown sausage now. The other thing worth mentioning is we do get alternative heads for the free Peters, which I'll show now, and other web elements for them. And one thing I did forget to mention with what comes in the box, a blue brick separator. There's 9 figures in this set. We've got the 3 Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, MJ, Ned, Green Goblin, Electro, and Doc Ock. Whilst there is Sandman elements, there isn't actually a Sandman figure, but you've got the Daily Bugle set, or I think the set with Spider-Man 2099, I think it was the Spider Slayer. You can sub in a Sandman figure there. If you've also got any of the other Spider-Man sets, this set works quite well because you can just integrate any of the Spider-Man villains into here. So if you want to throw a Mysterio on, or even any of the Vultures that we've got recently, you can actually just throw them on, and there are some pretty good points you can actually get them on. I may have a crack at that myself, and I'll put the results on Twitter, Instagram, or TikTok, whichever one I probably feel like using that day. But I'm going to start with the order that kind of showed on the box. And first up we have Spider-Man, which is on the box. So it's Tom Holland Spider-Man, or you could say MCU Spider-Man. In the instructions, obviously give him this web thing, but you don't have to use that, same as you don't have to use this. The integrated suit is one I actually quite like. I like the concept of it. I like the idea of it just being a tiny bit of the Iron Spider. A classic suit in the Lego form for Tom Holland, I think, would be a very good move, but I still can't deny I really love the detail on this suit. As for the head they give Tom Holland Spider-Man, it is this one. I think it kind of matches it quite well. They give him the happy face, and then they give him the kind of worried face. I think just following the climax of the movie at the end when he's fighting Green Goblin, an angry or beaten up face could have been quite a nice one for him, but I understand they might not have wanted to go that route. If they do go that route in the future, I think it'd be a very good move. We've also got the Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, and if you never got any of the Tobey Maguire sets, because they'll be quite old now, it's a very good way to get this figure. I love it because I think I grew up with Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, then went to Andrew Garfield, and now I'm on Tom Holland, so I've enjoyed every incarnation of live-action Spider-Man we've got. I really like the webbed look and how they actually made it look raised. It reflects quite nicely in the light, and the dual molded legs are good. Only drawback with Tobey Maguire and Andrew's figures are really that there isn't too much, no, there isn't really any like printing. They are dual molded, I think, but a bit of like printing could have been nice. It's not the end of the world, but yeah, still very fun, this figure. And the head they give him is this one. The angry face actually works quite well for him, and of course they give him a more calm face. They've actually made him look a bit older as well with the lines at the side of the head for the minifigure, and I think that's been done quite well. Third Spider-Man is the Amazing Spider-Man, so Andrew Garfield Spider-Man, again, some web pieces for him. I think this is probably my favourite suit out of the 3, just because they did the symbol so well, and even the back symbol so well as well. Again, a potential nitpick is probably just maybe a lack of leg printing. It's not the end of the world. I understand some people really want it. It doesn't bother me too much as long as there is sufficient and good printing elsewhere. Sorry if my voice isn't coming through too clearly, just because I'm a tiny bit ill at the moment, but wanted to get this done quite quickly. As for the head for the Andrew Garfield figure, they did quite a good job. I think his is probably the most accurate, just because the facial features they've given him, they just scream Andrew Garfield Spider-Man to me. And in particular, just the Peter Parker he did throughout those 2 movies. I love the hairpiece they gave him as well, just because it looks quite exaggerated. I think it's from Seinfeld. But yeah, I think it's great. So he is definitely a great figure to finally have in Lego form. We get another Doctor Strange. These Doctor Strange figures are quite good. They're very well detailed. I love the plastic cape, the white in the hair, the alternative face, which is really hard to do with a cape on, so I'm just going to take the cape off. We've got Angry Stern and Happy Stern still, kinda. I do like the plastic cape as well, just because it's easier to put on other characters, like when you're putting it on Ned for this set, or just in general anyone else. And I think it can even hold things to a degree. I'm not going to try with that, but it can hold some things. We've got another MJ figure. I do like that I didn't just recycle the same MJ figure in the other No Way Home set, but instead gave her a different outfit. Yeah, it's an MJ figure. It's good. I don't mind having MJ figures. I actually quite like the character. I know a lot of people didn't, but that was one I did like. The facial features again are great, just because that is very much MJ from the last 3 Spider-Man movies. So I think that's great. And the hairpiece is a good one too. The Ned figure, again, quite a good figure. I never actually got the original Ned figure, so I'm happy to have this one. The hairpiece does make me laugh just because it is Dwight Schrute's as well. And I've just given him the box to hold, but yeah, this is what it's like. It is 5 identical stickers. I thought I was going to really mess it up, but I don't think I did too bad in the end. And I like his little varsity jacket, so I think I did a good job with him. He also has 2 faces. He has Happy and Happier, which I think was quite funny. As for the villains of the set, we've got a pretty good Green Goblin minifigure, I think. I like the glider, I like the blades at the back. These are the, I think, I have the guns or the knives, but it's good because there are also points that any of the Spider-Man figures can hold on to. The pumpkin bombs, maybe could have done with some lines on the side, just because that's what his pumpkin bombs had, but I still like it. I do like the torn cloth kind of look they've given him there. Along with the kind of damaged armour. Some leg printing on him could have been good. I'm not too fussed about not having the helmet because I do like the goggles look. I think the hair they gave him was perfect as well. And I love the crazier Norman face. So I think this is probably one of my top Green Goblin figures, considering the other ones are just very comic accurate. Nothing wrong with any of them, but this one definitely holds a good place. And the glider is a good build. Missed Electro there. Electro is probably the best villain figure out of this set. He's got the most detail, even though it's just pockets on the legs. It's great. These pieces for the electricity are also great, and I like that you can just take them off by taking off either the neck point here or just taking them off the back. The Infinity Stones go there, and it was just a great fun way to use them. I didn't just leave open holes at the bottom. Again, these are just great pieces to add. He only has the one face with the electro mask on, which I don't mind. The hairpiece they gave him was great as well. And he's got 2 lightning effect hands. Probably my favourite detail with his figure is the arc reactor strapped onto his upper torso, just because it's a great feature to include. So yeah, he's probably my top figure from this set, just because of how great they did it. Like, they went all in with the electricity, and they went all in with making him as accurate as possible. And finally, the Doc Ock figure. Again, I think some people weren't happy with this one, but I think it was done pretty well. You can see the band where the arms connect, and you can see his classic kind of trench coat, so I thought that was quite good. He has the 2 faces also. He has Angry, and he has the more kind of like happy and relieved one, which I quite like because it works for his character in the movie. As for the arms, they gave him the more classic arms. I don't think these ones can help him stand as well, but I think if you angle it good enough, he will stand regardless. But they did a good job with these, and I like how, yes, it is a classic Doc Ock arm that used to give him absolutely ages ago, so I'm really happy with that. And it's come to the back brace. I guess if you want to be nitpicky with this figure as well, the only thing they could have done was maybe add a bit of colour to the arms, but I don't see why they would do that yet. Hopefully they do one in the future, or if they do a bridge battle version, they can add that, but for now I think this is a fine figure. Probably the best thing with the Doc Ock hands on this set are just that there's multiple latching points that he can actually get onto, so they've done that quite well. That's it for the figures. I think that's really it for my review, because I don't have much else to say. It has great features, especially these new kind of display stand ideas. I do like all 3 of them included. That one threw me a bit because I couldn't see where to put it on the instructions, but there is the little piece there. I like that there's nods to what actually was used to defeat the as they Sinister Six, but the villains in the movie, like this here. And you could probably make some other ones to include, like the thing for Sandman at the top. And if they include Lizard in a future pack, I hope they include that. One of my favourite features is the addition of the camera, just because you could really argue it could be any of the 3 Spider-Mans. It's probably Tom's just because it's his universe, but it's just a fun little feature, and I do like that. I also like how none of the features are really forced. You can take off everything and have this quite plain. You can add stuff to it and have it quite dynamic and intricate, and it's entirely up to the person building. So I think that's done very well. If you want to strip everything off here, like all the scaffolding, you can. That option is available. You might have a lot of work to do with the base of it, but it's doable, and it's something that obviously if you want to do. I'm not going to be doing it. I do like the copper colouring that they've used, and again I think these new web pieces are quite fun, especially because they are holdable, they are, like, I guess, weight bearing. Then again, this is probably one of my favourite features of the set, and all around I do think it is good. I think it's good for the price, and I think it's a nice kind of like new way we can get old characters or even older movies have new sets, just because this is a relatively new movie, but there is a similar set for Avengers Endgame, and I could see them easily making them for like the first Avengers when they're fighting off with Chitauri outside. Oh wait, I don't know my New York architecture that well. Outside Grand Central Station, or even other movies like the beginning of Avengers 2 when they're fighting at the Hydra facility. So I think this is a good way forward with Lego. I think the only thing that we can really ask for more, because I know we do ask for a lot, is maybe some like printing, but it's not the end of the world because we still get great looking figures and we still have loads of options and variety of what we can do with the sets. I would love to see an expansion for maybe like £12 to £16, just including the lizard and maybe a Sandman figure, because just to make it feel a bit more complete and a bit more true to the movie. Just because I'm also very interested to see how they would handle a lizard figure, because to my knowledge we haven't had one. We've only had the big figures used in the games. I don't think we'll get a big figure, but if we do, that would also be pretty cool. I'm happy to answer any questions about the set if you want to post them in the replies. If I put this up on TikTok, obviously do the same there. Or if you want to tweet at me and ask me any questions, my Twitter handle, I'm trying to remember as off the top of my head, is @MarvelManny01. But I hope you liked the video. Like and subscribe if you did, and if you want to see more content like this. And yeah, ask any questions in the comments and I'll happily answer them. Thank you guys for watching.